Justice Morin, thank you so much for joining us today, and congratulations. You have now been made an Officer of the Order of Canada. What is it like to be recognized for your achievements in this way?
Well, I think, first of all, one has to realize these type of journeys are not traveled alone. I have many to thank in relation to that, from my parents all the way to my co-workers, and especially my clerks, I would think, because those are people that I worked with every day for the 18 years that I was on that Cree court.
Now, you are well known for working to ensure the equal treatment of Indigenous people in the justice system. Also, why in particular did you choose to focus on the area of language?
Well, I think I noticed right from the start, from years ago, I was involved as a probation officer from back in 1973. And in those times, right up to the times I practiced law starting in 1987, I noticed that certainly language was a major problem in relation to people being able to articulate what they understood, what they needed to know, and to be able to tell the court in certain situations what the court needed to find out. So those are things I noticed right from that start. And so having this opportunity to use the Cree language, it is also, I think, I've often said, if you talk to a person in a language they understand, they can hear you. If you talk to them in their own language, you reach their heart. And I think that's a very important thing, because it is an open thing to understanding what our culture is and what life is like out there.
Well, that's certainly well said, and Indigenous people have often struggled to get proper representation within the justice system. Do you see things substantially changing for the better in recent years?
Certainly, I've seen many people make an effort in relation to that. It is still always one situation where are we really dealing with things in a proper manner, and whether or not we always resort to criminal law. And it should be one of the last resort. I think if we can try and restore people back to where they are and restore relationships, then restorative justice might be a better way as opposed to criminal law. So those are things I still think that need to be looked at fairly closely and continue exploring that and using that in the justice system.
Now, you retired from the bench in 2019. Are there any projects you've been working on that you'd like to tell us about?
Well, I think that I still sit as a judge on an itinerant basis, meaning when I'm on call, if they want some replacement either in Saskatchewan, or I also go to Northwest Territories and the Yukon. And so I involved myself there. I've involved myself in CBA activities. I've involved myself in terms of dealing with young Indigenous lawyers, in some respects other Indigenous judges, other judges, to have some input into questions they have in relation to certain situations they see. And certainly with young Indigenous lawyers, it's been a real pleasure to try and help them along their way in dealing with issues that come up in their practice and whatnot. So I've been busy.
Well, busy indeed, Justice Morin. Thank you so much for joining us today, and again, congratulations.
Yeah, excellent.